I'm Dr. Ronda Ford, and this is Savannah, and I wanted to know a little bit about you, how long you've been playing, and how old you are.
I just turned 14. I've been playing since I was in 3rd grade. I'll be going into 9th grade this year. I have studied with Miss Debbie Johnson at my church for years, and I recently began studying with Miss Nora Kyle.
In Chattanooga?
Yes.
Okay.
Shattuck Conservatory.
Great. And I noticed that you had your nice little Trevor Y book.
Yeah.
So, did you do some tone studies already today?
Not today.
Not today. Okay, how about you want to just do a little bit together? Which ones?
Began with the middle register.
And that's a good place to start.
Right around here.
Around here. Okay. Have you done any of the studies?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
How about? Do you want to just have you done this one yet?
No, I can do it.
Okay. So what is it basically?
It's just going down chromatically.
Yes, exactly. And chromatically means by half steps, right? Okay. So just play a little bit of that. Good. And you don't have to repeat it now.
Okay.
What's a good speed to practice these at?
Quite slowly.
So I like about 60. I like to think 1,000, 2, 1,000. And I just noticed, if you could try for me, one of my teachers said, now every time you move your head, you change the universe. So get in a comfortable position, okay, so put your flute up. And now, but when you go up, don't pull your head back, just try to keep straight. You don't want to be like a robot, but keep straight, and just do the first one again. Now, have you and Ms. Kyle talked at all about directing your air yet?
Not much.
Okay, I would just say, in general, you noticed I wanted to feel, and I think if you could focus it just a little bit more down at an angle. Now, that's something you'll need to work on for a long time, but could you just try it right now, play those first couple notes, and think directing a little more down.
Okay.
Feel strange?
A little too much, just a little
but
different.
If you can get a little bit more down and think of your throat being open, then that's going to get you that nice big fat sound that we all want. So, okay, so you do lots of those in a day, right? And then you do you do scales, or have you with your previous teacher?
I had to do it for a festival.
Okay.
Things like that, honor band.
And how many octaves do you normally have to play?
We haven't gone the full ones yet.
Okay, so you haven't.
I can do them. But
So you haven't learned yet. Like, do you know there's?
Oh yeah.
Like, have you learned the high?
Yeah.
You have.
Yes,
okay, good, great. Well, let's do just a little bit of this now. How much have you worked on this? Have you just started it?
Yes.
Okay, so you're panicked, so don't worry. I'm here to help you, okay? Let me ask you the first thing. Do you know what key, like if we just, so I don't want you to panic. Let's say we're just going to go this far. And this is the Chaminade Concertino. And Chaminade was a female composer,
Yes.
French female composer. And actually, since I knew you were coming and your mom told me the pieces you were playing, I did look up, and it said that Chaminade was mostly forgotten, except for this piece was her most famous piece, and it was written for the students at the Paris Conservatory. Very good. I'm very impressed. Okay, so now what key does this start in?
D.
Okay, so if you needed to, could you play me a 3-octave D major scale?
Possibly.
Slowly. Just slowly with that. Right. F sharp. And have you learned high C sharp yet?
I can't remember.
Okay, so 2, let me help you here. So 2, 4,
Okay.
and then 1. And guess what? This little key is the gizmo key, and that'll help it pop right out. So try that. Good, and really loud. Yeah, like blow your brains out. Good. Now, don't forget to use that gizmo key. You've never used that before.
No.
have you? Okay, that helps, and no thumb on this. Right. Okay, so a lot of air. There you go. Yes, good.
No,
okay, now, do you know the D? Okay.
That isn't it.
And actually, just do two of those. Right. And I call that the triangle key. Do you call it that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then now lots of air for the D. Good, pretty good. So why would I have you play that whole scale for me?
Because that's initially what it begins with.
And is
runs.
Based on. Yes, yes. Okay. So why don't you do a little bit, how about just from the beginning to 10? That's enough. Whenever we have a repeated note, you have to tongue it harder than you think, because then it's just going to sound like one long note. Right. So could you do this again and really give me maybe even more than you ever would think, and I'll tell you if it's too much. Yes, yes, because it just sounded like one long note. And if it won't bother you, I'm going to tap along so we keep the rhythm nice and even. Okay, so here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Da 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 da. Big breath. Start this one soft. And get a bit louder. Don't rush that. It's a long time between here. I would maybe again breathe after that A. Okay. Well, in French music, a general rule is that you could breathe after a long note. That's always a good time. Now in French music, you can actually breathe at the bar line. So I'm going to let you and your teacher ultimately decide that, but I feel like between here and there, you definitely want another breath. Okay. So that felt better to me. And do you notice that you got ahead of me a couple times rhythmically? Okay. Now I just want to ask you, how would you work out these runs, especially that have 7?
I would just memorize them as the scales, like, just going up like you would, and then.
No, that's fine. This one, you see how that one's 6. So here you could divide it into 3 and 3. Okay. Now 7, it doesn't just easily divide in half. What I usually do is I do 3 and then I do 4. And you've got that several times in a row. So could we just practice from this low C sharp? And how about let me play it, and then you play it back to me. So and I'm going to practice it tongued. Okay. So nice and slow. I want you to do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So just try that. Good. Okay, now let's do the next one, the C sharp going down. Do the same thing. what would you do here?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, okay. And then what are we going to do on the 6?
3 and 3.
Right, so to get really specific with your metronome, I would even practice it giving a click for each half of the beat.
Okay.
And why do we want to do that?
To be more accurate?
Yes. Yeah, when you have a run, you don't just go, okay, it's 7 notes.
I mean, notes scrambled together.
Right, you know, and you already told me, you knew it was in the key of D major. So you're already thinking in that key, and you played that scale, but now we want to practice these runs. And I like to go really slow in the beginning. Let's see. Let me just go from that low C. This is C sharp, sorry. Do you see how I did that? Do you feel comfortable going that speed?
Yeah.
And you can slur it if you want. So you're thinking triplet and 16th notes.
Okay.
Okay, just try that. Good. Okay, now let's do.
Yeah, I messed that one up.
That's okay. Let's do that one. So we'll do it together. Ready? We're gonna do 3 and then 4. And then okay, now let's go from the low C sharp. Good. Now what happens here?
It changes keys.
And what does it go to there?
Goes to B flat.
Yeah. And the reason you know that, I mean, do you agree that this is the same theme as that?
Yes.
But, and you told me it was D major.
Right.
So now it's in B flat. So play me a little bit now of the B flat. And breathe. Good. Okay, that's okay. Now,
forgot to breathe.
well, and you know, it would make sense if you played the run and then you would want to take that big breath there. I would practice this. Could you play it without the grace notes once? Yeah, now put them back in. And you want them, let's see here. Kind of fast and just slightly before the beat.
Okay.
Okay, but we don't need to go tempo fast. We're just fitting them in beautifully right now. So let's go there again. Let's do, okay, that's okay. Do that last one. Ba-da-da-da-bum. Yes. Okay. Now, don't you feel better already about this whole thing? So now, what happens here? We have those 7-note runs.
Right.
So what are we going to do?
3, 4.
Yes. And I always like to do, it's just a personal thing. You could do 4 and 3. But one of my teachers always suggested doing the slower one and then the faster one at the end. So in my brain, that's how I do it. Now here, what could we do here with 11?
5, 6.
Yeah. And so I would literally, you know, like we put the metronome on here, I would practice it slow enough where you can get 5 in there and then 6 in there, because that's a lot of notes. So do you feel a little bit better about the opening?
I'm
Okay.
more comfortable with it now.
Now, you also are working on syrinx.
Yes.
And have you just started that also? Or?
No, actually, I did it for competition over a year ago by memory.
Oh, okay.
I just had it with me.
So, well, did you want to play some of that?
Sure.
Okay.
I need help with the rhythm on it. So.
Okay, well, and I was going to say, let's not do it for memory right now. Let's actually go ahead and look at the music. And so, did you work on this with your previous teacher?
Yes.
Okay. So, go for it, play a little bit. That's enough. That's good. Okay, so the beginning I felt really good about.
Okay.
But then you went like really fast there. And I know that there's some freedom in this beat, but maybe not quite that much.
Yeah.
So in this part, the opening, could you explain to me rhythmically, like how many 16th notes are in that note?
6? No.
You played it exactly right. So, okay, let me make it easier. How many 16th notes would be in 1/4 note? Right, okay. So, there's 3 of them in that part.
Right.
And then the 4th one comes there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, ba 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 ba.
Right, okay.
Okay, so when I
I
play...
was thinking right.
Well, it was funny because you played this rhythm was very accurate, and then you went really fast there. So let's just for kicks, okay, and we're going to go slow because I know I'm making you think about this in a different way. Boy, that seems fast. So I'm going to think. Can you try it like that? So these are 16th notes. Good. Now let's get this exactly on that 4th one. Okay, now I can do this if it'll help. So we're going to do this together. Ready and go, E and Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did anyone ever make you do it that way?
No.
Okay, so you're not going to perform it quite that rigid, but you were really, really free.
Yeah.
You played it before. Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask you about on this piece is, remember you told me in the Chaminade that it was based on the D major scale.
Right.
And this is based on kind of a different scale. Did anybody talk about that at all?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? It was funny because last night, or whenever I talked with your mom, I thought to myself, I haven't played this piece in a long time, and so what can I do to help you with it? And what I realized is that the first 3 notes, I know I've got a lot of writing, it's actually based on a whole tone scale. And this Debussy really liked to use whole tone scales. So basically, you already told me a chromatic scale is based on half steps. So a whole tone scale is all whole tones. Yes, whole steps. So I wrote out, here's one in C. So could you play that for me? Just, by the letters, and maybe start on low C.
Okay.
So low C, D. Good. Now that sounds different to our ears, doesn't it? You haven't played those before. So when we come to the first part of the piece, B flat is the same as A sharp, okay, and then A flat, same as
G sharp.
And G flat, same as
F sharp.
Okay, so we're going to loosely say that Debussy was thinking about that whole tone scale. Okay? And I would ask Miss Kyle about the whole tone scales. And luckily, there's only 2 of them because they transpose and you play the notes over and over again. So, good. Well, let me just ask you, now do you know, were you told about the story?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, tell me the story.
Wasn't it, it's based on like a Greek mythology kind of thing where, I want to say Pan, maybe, but it had to do with the pan flute. It was, okay, I'll get it. The like creature thing, he was chasing after the like water nymphs.
Yes, exactly.
And he was chasing, and the one wouldn't give in to him, so she kind of dove into the water and basically turned into reed pipes and made the pan flute, and ABC Imagine This as the song, the kind of morning song of
That Pan
that
played.
he played on the pan flute. Yes.
Very good. So you did your research
Yes.
on this piece, and so you knew about that, and that gave you an image of it.
Yes.
Could we just do, oh, so you don't need to look off of, I don't want to confuse you with my copy. In measure 4, so let's talk about this rhythmically. So how many 16th notes are there?
That's what we just remember right for. 3.
Well, 3 in that part, yeah,
3 and then the 4th.
right? And then how are you going to think of that part?
And 1 8th note.
Right, so this would come, this is count 2,
Counting
and then where does that come?
The and of count 2.
Mm-hmm. And then what about this?
3,
Okay, and then,
4.
well, the and of 3.
And of 3.
Good, okay.
Oh,
So, how about, could you just start on count 2? Good, okay, so let's even that up a little bit. And maybe in here, pretend in your mind that there's actually 3 notes there. So let me just play this once, and I'm going to tongue everything, and I'm going to add the 3 notes there. Okay, play it. Could you play it like that? And I didn't do the grace note. Okay, now go ahead and make sure we put. I'm going to tongue that one too. So we're going to. How many times are we going to tongue there?
1, 2, 3.
Well, so I want you to put the triplet there.
Oh,
so
okay.
just listen once.
Got it,
So I'm
okay.
going to go. And I slowed that
Okay,
down, but
got it.
do it that way one time.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. You can do the grace note. Now, okay, let's go back and add the grace note in. So tonguing like we did. Yeah, okay. Now, can you just play that as written, but think that triplet. Good. Okay, and you went just a little bit slower than I
Okay.
was thinking. Let me tap 3 triplets. Okay, triplet. So
Sorry,
do
my fingers slipped.
That's okay. Let's do that one more time. Triplet.
Sorry.
That's okay. One more time. Triplet. Yes. Okay. So why in the heck did I make you do all that?
So I would get a better sense of accurate rhythm, and
Yes.
I would know how to count because that's a recurring theme.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So basically over here,
Right.
we get that same thing. So here I would even practice putting those triplets in. So here I would be doing. Now why does that feel slower?
Because there are more notes, so it gets more of a value. Because of the triplet is just one count in itself,
Right.
essentially.
So if we're counting, then that's the and
Right.
then this is 2.
2
And.
and.
So here we only have 2 notes,
Right.
whereas here we had 3.
Mhm.
So could you just, now, can I count it with the 8th note? So I'm going to tap the 8th
Okay.
notes. Okay, so you're going to think triplet and then dun, dun, bum, 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 bum. See how that's going to feel slower. Okay, here we go. Ready and boom. Triple, dum, bum, bum, bum. Yes, yeah, that was good. Let's do that together one more time. Triplet. Wonderful. and I'll hold your
Okay.
flute. With the 1 and 2 and.
1 and wait, no.
So, yeah, so how
Oh,
many?
yeah?
Let's scoot that 1 over a little bit. I
Yeah.
would feel better. It's okay. So we've got the triplet on count 1. Okay, now why do you keep writing it there?
I don't need to.
Well, okay. Well, it's the notes tied, but that's really
Right.
where the 1 would start.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then,
And
yes. Okay.
2 and
Yes.
then 3 or 6 there and then 4.
Or and, yeah.
4 and 3 and
Now,
I keep on forgetting.
That's
that.
okay. When I practiced this whole piece, I actually practiced it in 6.
Mhm.
So where here I would think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5e and 6e and does that?
Mhm.
So you have to break it down that far. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions about this piece that I could answer or?
I don't know, but you have anything?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean,
Okay.
I think when I just let you play a little bit, but
Mhm.
this may be a piece. You'll play this piece many times
Yes.
in your life, and so the next time you come back to it, then
count it.
yes, I want you to go back and because the whole movement, we're always in 3, aren't we? Or well, here we changed
Yeah.
it to, but when we're in 3, then I would count it in 6. And be very meticulous. And then here, this 2/4 measure, I would do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yes. So will you promise me that you'll do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. I think
Okay.
we're done. You were great. You did such a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I was happy to do it.
Perfect.
Okay.